Hi, and welcome to another edition of Living in Shelby Township. I'm Kelly Kasuda, and here with me today is Bethany Bouton, the children's librarian here at Shelby Township Library. Bethany, there's something to do here all the time, but there's also some really fun things you guys are doing for when people don't have school. So what are some of those things?
People are always looking for something to do on school break if they're not going on vacation. So the library is a great place to come and get out of the house.
Yeah, and we have a winter break coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, so what's going on during winter break?
In a few weeks, kicking off the Saturday that they're off of school, February 16th at 1:30 p.m. in the library, we'll have a Lego Day. So that's for all ages. We have the big Duplo box for the little kids and the regular little Legos for older kids, so people can come and create whatever they want. We also provide some ideas, and it's just a fun way to
is a good time.
Exercise your creativity and do whatever you like.
Very cool. What else?
So then that week, on Tuesday, we will have a Tinker Tuesday, which is kind of an open-ended craft session, also at 1:30. So we have lots of odds and ends, craft supplies, and different things at the library that kids can experiment with and make whatever kind of crafts they want.
And they can take all those crafts home then afterwards? Yes. Oh, that's always a plus.
Yeah, it's a make and take.
Yeah, great.
And then we also will have a big juggling show on Wednesday that week at 1:30. We have a local young man who is Juggle Boy Nick. He's been on different talent TV shows and everything, and he's very professional, has a lot of cool tricks, and even an LED juggling light-up juggle routine. So he'll kind of show kids some tips and tricks and also astound them with his own skills.
And what age range is that for? Because I would like to come.
Open to anybody that wants to see kind of a spectacle, you know, just all ages. We're trying to make it so the whole family has something to do that week.
Fun. So we've got Legos, we've got crafts, we've got magic.
Yes.
Is there
but
more?
We don't want to forget the babies. So we do have a baby story time that Friday at 10 in the morning, which is a special one with Mom Cat Signing Academy. So it'll be baby signing time. Because sign language is great for babies to learn so that they can communicate with their hands, which they can move around before they can use words.
Right, that's more. Yeah, more. My niece does the baby sign language.
Yeah, we know a few ones, and they really pick it up fast. So Miss Kelly from Mom Cat Signing Academy will be here, and she's a really awesome, upbeat instructor who will do a special story time with us.
Oh, wow, that's fun. Anything else?
Those are all of our big events, but we also have an ongoing scavenger hunt that week. So between Tuesday and Friday, kids can drop in anytime, all ages. We have a library scavenger hunt, so they can pick up a sheet, look around, learn a little bit about what we have at the library, check things off, and then they'll get a prize.
And reading. Yes. Reading is always here.
Yeah, we have, boredom busters. Come check out a book, talk to a librarian. I'd be happy to help them find something to read. Any of our librarians here have some good ideas. Now, Bethany,
what's the cost for all of these things? Is it going to cost you some money per child?
The best cost, which is free.
Everything that is the best cost.
It's free to check out, free to come to everything.
All the events are free. Now, the library is such a big part of Shelby Township. There's always something going on here. There's always events going on. Why is it so important to be, such a great part of the community for the library staff?
Yeah, well, because we can be here for free for anyone, and our events are open to even non-residents. So if you have family visiting, you want to bring your cousins and everybody, it's great to have it be something for everyone to do together, and then maybe inspire people to check out their own library in their own town, because every town is unique with its shape and size and what it has to offer. But we have a lot of ideas that we're trying to share and inspire new growth and learning in different ways.
Absolutely. Now, if anyone needs to find out information about this, where do they go?
They can go to our website. They can give the library a call. They can come on in and talk to us.
Great. And we'll make sure we put that website down.
Yes.
Well, Bethany, thank you so much for having us. And everyone, come check out the library.
I try to keep up with what these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, you just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
I bet my Charmander is stronger than your Pikachu. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Well, you would if you went to the Shelby Township Library, where you've got to catch them all at the Pokemon Hangout.
Everybody loves Pokemon. Little kids, big kids, teens, mom and dad, everybody loves Pokemon. So this is a good event to come out and trade and battle and geek out with other trainers and enthusiasts.
Alright, let's face it, some of us are lost. For those who did not know what Pokemon is, we'll tell you. Pokemon first started out as a game for Nintendo. Released in Japan in February of 1996, it was first known as Capsule Monsters. The game got a new name and a new look, known as Pokemon, and was released in the US of October of 1996, along with 102 trading cards for kids to collect, trade, and battle. Pokemon now has become something where both parents and kids can enjoy together.
We have a little scavenger hunt where the kids have to fill in the blanks and find different types of Pokemon, and once they fill out their sheet, they get a sticker for, finding Pokemon around the room. On average, we get anywhere from 20 to 40 people at our Pokemon Hangout. That includes the kids and mom and dad. We usually offer Pokemon in January and in September, right after Christmas and right before back to school. A nice, easy way to relax after the holidays and ease into the new school year.
Do you ever just want to kick back, open a book, and have a glass of wine? Well, now you can, and this isn't your parents' book club. Let's head over to Nick's 22nd Street Steakhouse to see what's on the reading list.
The Shelby Township Library hosts a very special book club every month, and this one is not for your parents.
We originally came up with the idea we wanted to bring in a wider variety of ages to our book club. So we planned to have one in an evening where we could get a variety of people who are working or retired. And another thing about it, calling it Not Your Parents Book Club, is to give it a different flavor. So we meet here at Nick's 22nd Street restaurant, and that way some people come early, have a meal, and then come for the book club. Others just show up and maybe have a glass of wine or a cup of coffee during the book club.
So in chapter 2,
having the book club away from the library, the group can delve into edgier books.
Star says, when I was
This week we're going to be discussing The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. It's a young adult novel, but it's one that's of an interest, I think, in our time and to all ages. It's a book about race relations. The main character is a young girl who lives in a very urban neighborhood with a majority African American, but during the day she goes to a private high school where she's one of only a few students of color. So it talks about code switching, being, one thing at home and another thing at school. And then right early in the book, she's in a car with a friend who's pulled over by the police. He's a young black man and he is killed by police. And that sparks a whole bunch of events that happen in this book. And it's very relevant, I think, to our times to talk about.
And there's no need to register. Everyone is welcome at Not Your Parents Book Club.
So I found out about it through the community newsletter. I decided to just give it a try, and everyone was so welcoming. I just started coming back, and now I actually have a couple friends that come with me too. It's really nice because there's different generations and nationalities that are represented here, so you get a really good background feeling for people, and the conversation's always really interesting.
This addition to the library's book clubs have been a hit for the residents.
Anyone is welcome to come. We have a list at the library and also on our website of the upcoming books, so they could read the book and then come to the next meeting. No one needs to be invited. There's no registration. Anyone can show up. And even if you haven't read the book, you're welcome to come once, see how the discussion goes, and see if it interests you. And then we do give out copies of the next month's book at that meeting. We have some grant money that we use to do that, and so we are able to provide that book, and people could take it home and read it and then come back the next month.
For Living, I'm Andrew Shelsky. Are you interested in taking care of a reptile or amphibian at home, but not sure how to take care of them? Why not adopt one at our Burgess Shadbush Nature Center? One-year adoptions are $25 for a small animal and $50 for a large animal. You'll get an adoption certificate, and the adoption fee will help cover vet care and expenses for your animal. You're encouraged to come in regularly to take care of your animal. For more information, you can call the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center at 586-323-2478 or contact them at naturecenter@shelbytwp.org. You can visit the Nature Center yourself at 4101 Riverbends Drive, off of the Ryan Road entrance of Riverbends Park.
The weather might be frightful, but there's still a ton to do at the Nature Center. Winterfest is a township event that lets you learn winter skills and lets you roast some marshmallows. Our Tyler Smith has the story.
Winterfest is a celebration of winter. We have hot dogs over an open fire. We're making some winter tracks this year, so you get a chance to take home a little piece of nature using animal tracks. And we have some furs back here that we're explaining the difference between winter coats and summer coats.
It's a perfect day to have a nice hot dog roast outside, and I see young children starting out getting interested in the nature and the furs and everything that's around here, so I'm going to enjoy the day, I'm sure.
This is our first time at this specific event, so I know we're here because our kids love to do all of the arts and crafts that are going on and also look at all the animals.
Since there's not a lot of snow outside, we're actually having an indoor snowball fight in our theater room today. So we've got mock snowballs that are made out of stuffing and socks. They're very soft. And we have about 40 or 50 of these pre-made, and they're in our multi-purpose room, and you get to throw them at one another. It's a lot of good fun.
It's Detroit's Party Pop. Whether it's rock and rye or red pop, we all have our favorite flavor of Faygo. And now there's a book all about the history of the Detroit staple. Let's take a look.
Some people call it soda. Some people just call it Coke. But around here, we call it pop. If you grew up in Metro Detroit, Faygo has been a part of all of our childhoods. And author Joe Grimm took his love for the pop to a whole new level, writing the very first Faygo book.
Well, I think I grew up with Faygo, drinking it, and I loved the commercials. And so I was always interested in Faygo. And I had done an earlier book on Detroit's Coney dogs. And that was popular, people liked it, and that got me thinking about what other iconic foods do we have. And I was surprised that there were 2 books about Vernors, but none about Faygo, which is a much more colorful thing, and very much a Detroit thing.
Sipping it on a hot summer day as a child, or cracking open a bottle of cream soda as an adult, Faygo always will be a part of Detroit's culture.
Faygo has lasted for a long time because it has found a niche for itself in the Detroit market. And although starting in the 60s they started thinking about going national, Faygo never really did go national. It's available in more than 40 states, but it's still pretty much a Detroit homegrown and home-brewed product.
With big companies like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, you would think that this Michigan-based company wouldn't have a chance.
It's good. It's a good pop. It's our pop. And we're loyal to Faygo. Faygo's been loyal to the city of Detroit. It's always been on the Near East Side. And I think that its strategy was to have many flavors so that people would find a few favorites, and every year or so, one that is surprising and that they might also like.
Whether it's a classic like Rock and Rye or a new concoction like Cotton Candy, everyone has a favorite flavor of Faygo.
My favorite is Rock and Rye, but I have a lot of favorites. I also like the red pop, the grape, the orange, the root beer, the diet flavors. A flavor that was re-released 2 years ago, Arctic Sun, is, I think it's pretty good. It reminds me of Squirt. It's grapefruit and cherry. And I like Arctic Sun. Not everybody does, but that's what happens when you have more than 50 flavors. And Faygo's had more than 100. The book lists more than 100 and links to 25 videos that have a lot of those old commercials that I like to watch.
For Living in Shelby Township, I'm Andrew Shelsky.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know. Come alive with the forest. The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Have you ever wondered what life was like back in the 1800s? Well, now you can find out, and you don't need a time machine or to travel very far. Next to the Nature Center is the Pioneer Cabin. So let's go back in time with Kyle Wurzbach and find out more about this Shelby Township landmark.
Built in 2005, the Pioneer Cabin at the Nature Center serves as an educational tool for kids and adults, but it also honors the early settlers of Shelby Township as it sits on some historic property.
Well, the cabin was built as an education tool. The history of this property, at one time it was owned by the Lyric family. They purchased this property after they were traveling. Mrs. Lyric fell off the wagon, she broke her leg, and the doctor in Utica said, we don't want you to travel until you're healed. They kind of looked around the area, they found this piece of property, and they decided to stay. They fell in love with Shelby. And they eventually had, I believe it was 11 children, and they were abolitionists and were part of the Underground Railroad here.
Faith spends much of her time working special events in the cabin. She shares why this cabin can offer something for everyone to learn.
I love it as an education tool. I think it gives kids and adults a way to look back and see how people lived a much simpler life. And in some ways, I think it was a better life. I mean, they didn't waste things, they weren't wasteful. It wasn't material driven.
It's important to know that the cabin is not open all the time. Faith explains when the cabin is open to the public throughout the year.
We open the cabin for special events. So we will open the cabin for Pioneer Christmas. We will open it in the fall for Heritage Days when we have heritage programs. We also open it up during the summer months. And when we open it in the summer, it is for Pioneer Camp. And when we do Pioneer Camp, I encourage the children to come dressed like Pioneer children, because I want them to have a feel for what it was like then. There's no shorts, there's no flip-flops. We want them to know what life was as a Pioneer kid. It wasn't all fun and games. They work, they help cook, they help clean, but we have fun too. And last year, I think the kids who did do the camp had a great time. But we also will open this cabin up for National Log Cabin Day. which I believe is in June. And that's so that people get an idea what cabins were like, how they were built, and how that changed throughout the years.
If you would like to learn more about these events or the cabin itself, call the Nature Center at 586-323-2478 or visit their Facebook page by searching Burgess Shadbush Nature Center. For Living, I'm Kyle Warzebach.